Anything like this. Okay, so thank you for inviting me to talk here. It's a pleasure. So I'll be talking on artificial intelligence, in the workplace. And as someone who is into IT and tech, I do not only, or like in the tech world, they call what we do when you are training people or talking about a particular technology, they call it tech advocacy or developer advocacy. And so I do not only advocate for tech, I practice it in everything that I do. Maybe because I'm very lazy when it comes to work. So I always look for things to make my work faster. And also, I can be very forgetful. So I don't believe that the brain was created to store information. I believe that the brain is used to think. So I try to store a little information in my head, but prioritize using my brain to think. And so yeah, so you're welcome once again on artificial intelligence in the marketplace. So, but before I start, I'm going to give like a little background on AI, what AI is, and how you can use AI for your work. But before I start, I'll just give a brief understanding so that we can have an understanding of what AI is, artificial intelligence. Because we are at a time where the world is, there's now we are in the AI age. We were first in the industrial age. From the industrial age, we went to the digital age or internet age. Then we went to the data-driven age, and we are now in the artificial intelligence age. And you can see that each age we get to is layered on top of the previous age. So before we got into the digital age, when you hear about the .com boom, and where the time Google came into the picture and the internet age came into the picture. And then on top of the internet age, we now had the data-driven age, and the ability to create applications based on data. As when Facebook came into the picture, Twitter, and all those applications are actually data-driven. They use your data to run ads, and all that. And now we are now in the artificial intelligence age, and the artificial intelligence is actually driven, is layered on top of data. So the objective of this session is just to help you understand what AI really is and how it can be practically integrated into your daily work, and learn simple ways to use AI to boost your performance, save time, and work smarter. Yeah, so who here uses AI? For just click the finger, the high five finger. Is anybody here that uses AI as well? Cool. Yeah. Let me try and find out. Okay, how many are okay? I can see 2 people, 3. Yeah. Okay. 4. Yeah. Okay. That's nice. So awesome. So that's nice. AI is the thing now, and I use it for everything that I do. It's like my own little personal assistant, my pocket personal assistant. I use it for everything that I do, and it makes my work faster. Yeah, thank you. Makes my work faster, makes my work very efficient. Yeah. So now AI at its core is about making computers think and act intelligently in ways that would normally require human intelligence. So it works in. I basically broke down the concept into 3 simple steps: input, processing, and output. That's how AI works. So AI, the input phase is that the AI gets data, text, images, and sound. Now, the way a child would learn, the way AI learns is not by telling it this is a this is a cup, this is a spoon, this is a bottle, because that's not how the human brain or a human brain learns, especially as a little child. Your development as a child started by your brain. What your brain does is that your brain creates patterns. And so that's what it does. It trains it with patterns. You see, if you don't show a child a cup, a child would pick a cup and recognize that it's a cup. You will tell you, oh, this is a cup. But you have to show the child different types of cups. He sees you holding a cup. You know that the cup is round. It has a hollow inside it. He knows that the child knows that the cup has a handle, is for use for drinking, and so what the child is doing is that his brain is trying to create patterns, and so that was how AI was developed. The machine is trained how human beings learn. So the first stage is input. The second stage is processing, and it uses algorithms. Algorithms are actually, when you watch some people on YouTube, they'll say, oh, click and subscribe so that the algorithms to help the algorithms. And you're wondering what this big word called algorithms. Actually step-by-step instruction to find patterns or make sense of the data. That's what algorithm is. And then output gives you results, like answering the question, recognizing a face, writing a text, driving a car, or suggesting what next to watch. So that's the basic way AI works. And how does it learn? It uses a method called machine learning. Instead of telling the computer a rule, as I explained earlier, you feed it with lots of examples, and then it learns patterns on its own. So the way AI works is that AI in the training phase. So AI has what you call the training phase. In the training phase of machine learning or AI, you use lots of data. So if you're training an AI to, for example, I talked about teaching a child how to recognize a cup. You have to keep showing it different types of cups for the child's brain to create a pattern in his brain or a map in his brain. That mapping in his brain is called neural learning. It's called the neurons in the brain begin to create nodes, create points, traces points, and create a pattern. It's called neural learning or artificial neural network. And why does this matter? Because it helps to make tasks, solve problems faster, find hidden insights, make life more convenient, raises important questions about, it raises also important questions about job ethics, privacy and fairness, and we're going to talk about that in a bit. So the core idea is that machine learning is about finding patterns in the data. So you must be fed with a lot of data. The system is fed with a lot of data, all kinds of data, text, images, numbers, and all that. Then the next thing is a model, a mathematical structure, and helps it learn patterns from that data. And so this is where the data science aspect of it, or when somebody says it's learning, is into machine learning, which is another field in AI. This is what actually the person is doing. An algorithm or a method, which is the method for adjusting the model based on the data, so the system can learn. Okay, so we are going to, so I will just jump into understanding AI and AI at work, because the beauty of AI is that it can be used, in different scenarios. It can be used in your daily work, and for example, I know one of the easiest, simplest method is putting something and saying, type me a letter to my boss explaining that I want to go on leave, or I want to requesting for increase of salary, and all that. Yeah. So that's like the simplest thing you can do with AI. But you can do much more than that. I know that's like the basic thing you do with AI. But you can do much more than that, than just typing it. And even doing that is like one of the most crude and most basic method of using AI. That's like the most crude or learning method. And I'll show you how a better way to, prompt your LLM. ChatGPT is called an LLM, a language learning model, and it's what you call generative AI. So you can use AI in different ways because it's changing the nature of work. The workplace is evolving, and machines and humans now collaborate. So if anybody is telling you that this AI is witchcraft, it's not really witchcraft. There's no spiritual thing about it. It's just that computers have been trained to think like human beings, and recognize patterns. So that's how basically AI work. And the way the world is going is not necessarily machine replacing human beings, but human beings collaborating with machine. One of my favorite sports is Formula One. I'm a very big Formula One fan, and the beauty about Formula One is that you have the driver and you have the machine. And so the beauty of Formula One is that driver and machine becomes one. And when driver and machine, there's a synergy between the driver and there's a synergy between the machine. The driver, he wins races. And so that's how AI works. And so the first part of AI is you can use AI at work is for repetitive tasks, data entry, form filling, scheduling, reports, automate repetitive steps. They are getting better, And an example is what you call RPA. They are called robotic process automations, or they're like smart assistants. They are mostly used in like big very big organizations. Normally before the way it works is that it automates basic steps in an organization. Like, let's say before a new employee joins a company, the HR officer must first collect the employee's names, details, names, email, his department. You have to log into multiple systems, into the HR database, add info, email system to create company email, payroll software to register salary details, IT desk service to request laptop details and all that. And it will now send an orientation mail and all that. And those things can take 20 to 30 minutes per employee. And the HR has to, repeat this for every hire. But with an automated process, a software brought the computer to do all these steps. Once an HR, uploads a new hire into details or into a spreadsheet, the bot immediately detects, the new employee record in the system, creates a user in Active Directory or Microsoft 365. If the organization is using Microsoft 365, it sets up the company email automatically, registers the payroll information, and sends personalized email with login details and credential info. You can see that in this process, the time is saved, and the system can do that for multiple people in the organization at once. So that is another way AI is used. Another way AI is used in communication and collaboration. So the first one is mostly in very large organizations. I used to work for now I consult with them, but for a while I was working as the lead developer for an organization in the UK called Career Masterclass. And when I started working there, immediately they had vetted me that, okay, you are giving me an employment letter. I got emails immediately. I got tons of emails. This is your login details. This is your email address. This is access to this. This is access to that. This is what you need to do. This is what you need to. This is the training manual you need to learn, and blah 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 blah. So organizations use this, especially big organizations, and AI helps in all these repetitive tasks. Instead of one person having to do it over and over and over again. The second example is communication and collaborations. And this is something that I believe that everyone can key into or can use, like emails. You know, Google now has AI, you know, embedded into their emails, into Gmail. I don't know if it is in the free plan. I hope you can all hear me. Just checking. Okay, cool. So so it is embedded. It is embedded in the. I think it's embedded in the free plan. I don't know if it's embedded in the free plan, but you know, Gmail now. I don't know Microsoft. I don't use Microsoft Outlook. I think Microsoft in their paid plan though, they have all those AI integrated in the email. So it can help you. You can just tell it immediately to send an email to this person, to do everything for you. You can there are AI systems now that helps you, you know, with meeting notes. There's one I know they call Firefly, you know, and each platform, you know, each vendor has its own system for that, you know, presentations. You know, Microsoft has done a very has done a good work in trying to integrate AI into their whole system. In fact, it is one of their new strategy that Microsoft is. If I don't know if you are very very conversant with what's going on in the tech world, is that Microsoft has dropped support for Windows 10. They're trying to promote Windows 11, and you cannot create local accounts in Windows 11 unless you create an account with Microsoft. You understand? So what they are trying to do is that they are trying to integrate AI into everything they are doing. You understand? So meeting notes, presentations, even chats, you know, AI can help with that, like to draft emails, to summarize meetings, to generate slides. I use it a lot. There was a time I went to training in Kaduna, and there were a lot of things I needed to do. You know, I had to do training for digital marketing, web development, and data analytics. And a lot of I was basically using like 2 different AIs to help me with my slides. So it helped me. It helped me a lot in making my work, you know, very fast. And so that's what AI can do. You can use ChatGPT, for example, for writing. You can use Otter AI for transcription. You can use Copilot in Office. And ChatGPT is very good. Now, one thing about ChatGPT is that ChatGPT can do garbage in, garbage out. So what you do with ChatGPT is that always when you want to prompt ChatGPT, you want to always give it context of what you're about to do. So I am, for example, you want to write a presentation on strategy for a particular business and whatever. So you tell AI that this is who you are. You were called to develop a strategy for this. You give it context and data, and this is what you've done, what you've been able to achieve. I want you to create a document, you know, and you tell it the output of what you want. You understand? For it to be able to do it properly. You understand? So, you know, ChatGPT and can be used for that too. Otter AI is very, very good. I know Firefly is also used for transcription. So, Microsoft has their own, I think their own system. They have it embedded. They have lots of AI is embedded in their whole system. So, having meetings. I don't know if they have it in Microsoft Teams. I only use Microsoft Teams once, but you can use it for transcription, and you can use it even for collaboration, you know. So that's another use for AI. The third one is decision making and data analysis, you know. So we have as I said earlier, the world is data. Every decision now is based on data. In fact, human beings, that's how human beings are. That's how human beings relate with people. When you want to manage somebody, you use data. That means that whatever your interaction with the person, you are drawing data from the person. And based on that data, you are able to make your analysis on that person. Is this person right for me to marry? Or is this person is the right person I should do business with? And you can now make predictive analysis on that person and say, we do this, so that the way this guy or the way this lady is living her life, she will end up, you know, with a child before married, or she'll end up having a child after marriage. What you are doing is predictive analysis, and make that analysis based on data. So if you say, this person does this person is going to do that, the first question I will ask is, what's your basis for making this conclusive statement on this person? What I'm asking is that, what is the basis of your data? And you say, you tell me that based on this, based on that. What you're saying is that based on this data I have gotten from this person's actions or choices or whatever, I'm able to make a predictive analysis. So AI also helps with that. And there are many tools that can help with, help with doing predictive analysis. A tool, for example, is Copilot Power BI. I don't know if anybody knows about Power BI. If anybody is conversant with Power BI. Okay, so Power BI is a Microsoft tool for doing analysis. So analysis, in the sense, is let me just explain in a very simple term. If, for example, you do okay, you see basic auto, so that's cool. I can see that you're already into the AI space. So Power BI is for creating analysis, and one of the easiest to understand that is Excel sheets. Every organization, every business, every bank, business, if you're doing business, you must have Excel sheets. If you're doing sales, what you sold, when you sold, how you sold, who you sold to, and how much you sold. And then you can use all that information to create data. So Power BI is a very advanced level of that. And with Power BI, you can use Power BI to GitHub Copilot, with Copilot, sorry. So Copilot is the AI for Microsoft. And an example is that the company wants to forecast next quarter sales based on past sales, maybe 3 years past sales data. And he wants to make sales based on seasonal patterns, marketing spend, and how the customer has been in customer engagement. And a step-by-step workflow will require data collection. So the company will import data into the Power BI, like from Excel, the sales report, the customer data, the marketing tools, ad spend campaign, and inventory and pricing. And then Power BI will work with those data, will clean up those data, and make it, and all that, make it very clean and useful, and then build a dashboard. With that dashboard, you can have multi-sales trends and top performing regions and products, and correlation between marketing spend and sales, and customer engagement metrics. And then you can now use Copilot, which is the AI in Power BI. It's called Copilot, and say, okay, forecast total sales for Q1 2021 based on 3 years of data, or show me expected revenue growth if the market spend increases by, let's say, 20%, and all that. So based on that, the AI can now start helping you to generate predictions. And Power BI uses model similar to I think Arima or exponential smoothing enhanced by Microsoft's AI algorithms, in the cloud. So you can do insight generation. You can tell it to, what sales are what are the projected sales, or what area are you projecting to grow in sales by Q1 or Q2 2023 and all that. So you can use AI to do all that. That's what I just give you like an example. Different tools to do that, but Power BI is very popular to do that. The fourth thing is that you can use AI for customer service and reports. And an example is, answering customer questions and solving issues. And how AI helps is using chatbot agents. There are AI systems that will chat with you. It's called, Google has one. I remember when they were developing it and they were testing it. I've forgotten the name. It's called Google. It's not Google Assistant. It's more intuitive than Google Assistant. But AI will chat with you like you're talking to. In fact, Gemini on your mobile phone and say, "Hi, Gemini. I'm planning to do this," and it will discuss with you like you are talking to someone. It's easy to brainstorm. In fact, I teach my kids how to use it to learn to, they just see their phones and tell their laptops and say, Gemini, can you explain this in a very simple way? I'm trying to do this. What do you think? You use it to brainstorm and all that. So chatbots that can answer FAQs and all that. Another thing you can do is that you can you can carry whatever your right and put it on ChatGPT and say, use this and generate frequently asked questions, or create frequently asked questions and all that. So AI can do that for you. The chatbot that can answer those frequently asked questions and pass complex issues to human beings. So that's that with customer service and support. Another thing is marketing and sales. So you can use AI for marketing and sales, and all these things not like is what is being used now. That's why you see that companies, if you sit down and you watch CNBC, I'm a very big fan of CNBC, and you watch how companies are performing and all that, they are integrating AI into their systems. And the downside is that there are a lot of people are losing jobs, especially jobs that have to do with repetitive tasks. So jobs that require you to think and to, high profile jobs, are still safe, but jobs that requires repetitive tasks, AI can do all those things, So with regards to marketing and sales, for example, creating ads, I don't know if anybody uses this Canva. So this presentation, I use Canva to do it, you can create ads. There's one tool, I've forgotten what the tool. It's an AI tool. What's the name? It's an AI tool. That tool, you will just create one design and you tell it, it will create every way you want to present it. Facebook has its size for different areas you want to put your posts. Instagram too has its size. LinkedIn has its own size. It will create the same thing across all social media platforms and everything. You can now even tell it to generate the copy. It will do everything for you. AI is like Jasper. MailChimp's smart recommendations can do that. You can also use ChatGPT to do that too. ChatGPT can help. I use ChatGPT especially when I'm doing search engine optimizations. I want to find out keywords and I'll put it on ChatGPT. And ChatGPT will help with that. So it can help you with marketing and sales. What kind of email you want to send to a customer? You can type your email and tell the AI that, look, this is what you did. This is the kind of clients you are doing, and this is your objective. Draft an email and you do it, and then you keep fine-tuning it. And the thing about ChatGPT is that the more you fine-tune it, the more it knows you very well. There's a day that I typed into ChatGPT and told it, based on my interactions with you, tell me what kind of leader I will be. And it nailed it very well. And tell me what are my shorts, what areas are my weaknesses. And it was able to, to an extent, accurately predict what the areas I need to work on. So that's the beauty of all these tools, because what it's doing is using the data, feeding it with to improve the output. Another way you can use AI is cybersecurity and risk management, and this is what like the big organizations are using. So I'll give you an example. So I used to consult. I used to consult. I consult for Africa Beauty Pageant. Now, Miss Africa Beauty Pageant is always done by the Calabar State government. They always do it with that Calabar Carnival at the end of the year. I've been consulting with them since 2019. So that means that every December, by 20th or 18th of December, I'm out of Abuja. It has been like that for almost 5-6 years now, And the way, so I built a platform for people to be able to vote. Now, because in South Africa, people are not would register to participate, so they fill a form. And when they fill a form, that form is paid. They have to pay online. And the platform I was using to receive payment was Paystack. And so that to also vote to online. And I was with Paystack. Paystack would be, if you tell me, you will see the people where people are trying to make payment, and it flags some. You tell me, it has been blocked due to fraud detect. And I believe that it's using AI to do that, because the system they would have fed data and the system becomes smarter because based on it can detect what kind of transaction can be fraudulent. Maybe you are trying to pay, but you are paying from another country or another system, or you are using multiple IP addresses. The system is able to detect that and block you. So even AI now, they are using it for fraud detection. And one thing about AI is that it's not just it can be trained. So ChatGPT is general, but their organizations have their own internal AI systems where it might be built on ChatGPT's API. But what they will do is that we feed it with their own internal data and train it. So, for example, you are an estate agent now, and you have data of all properties in Abuja, people's buying behavior. If you've mapped out Abuja, and you've been able to, based on your mapping of Abuja, you'll be able to know what areas, how to allocate prices based on areas, based on how much they make or how much they earn, and all that. And you can now use all those data and information and use it to feed your AI and train your internal AI to help with that. And so it's being implemented in the area of protecting systems, protecting data, and the more it's able to plug data, it gets better and it gets better and it gets better. So then the next one is HR and talent management, and it is another area where you can apply AI, in HR and in talent management. I talked about how you can use HR for onboarding new people or new staffs and all that, and it can be used in hiring and in resume screening too. If you're sending resume, there's a resume system. I know people just resumes, but anytime you do a resume, put it in ChatGPT and say, make my resume 80. What's it called? Is it ATC? Called ATC. Make my resume ATC in ATC format. There's a particular format because a lot of, especially all these international organizations or companies that are looking for remote work, all these websites where you see the post a remote work and tons of thousands of people are applying. They use software to screen all those informations, and they use AI. Those software use AI, resume screening. So those key applications in AI recruitment are like resume screening, where AI can use algorithms to quickly shift to large volumes of resumes and candidates based on qualifications, experience, skills, to save significant time. Candidate sourcing, job description and optimization. AI can do that. AI can they can even use chatbots to handle the initial questions and answering and screen applicants and all that. So there are many tools for doing that. There's RPU and I think Recruit also. It's used for talent management and all that. So recruiting to sentiment analysis and all that. So it helps us do routine tasks faster, helps you communicate better, helps you make smarter decisions. It helps you to serve customers 24/7, personalized marketing data, and even hire the right people. In other words, AI saves time and helps people focus on the work and that really needs human creativity, and judgment, and practical ways to automate repetitive tasks. I talked about that. Supercharge your code. So in all this, you have to pick which one is related to your own field. Is it, do you need is it marketing or sales, or is it communication? What how do you use AI in helping you in that area? Is it data driven decision making? How do you use AI? Is it customer service? AI helps in all that. And I talked about practical steps. A use case is that which I explained earlier, automate a repetitive task like data entry and all that, improve communication, marketing, sales, enhance recruitment, continuous, upskilling. So also, I didn't even add this. Also learning. AI can help with learning. I use ChatGPT. All you need to do is just tell ChatGPT that you are my tutorial. Just you are my so if, let's say you want to learn how to um, creative writing. Now you say you are my creative writing teacher, and I want to create a course for me with creative writing. And I want to learn creative writing in about 2 months, and I want to develop a plan and a learning plan and materials, on how to create a plan and use it and ChatGPT can help with that. I said that my kids use it a lot, especially my daughter. She would do a math question, ChatGPT will help. It will give her assignments to do. She will do it, she'll send it back to it. It will tell her what she did wrongly and all that. So she's able to also use ChatGPT. Another beautiful thing that you can even upload a document and tell ChatGPT to help you summarize the document. You can do all those things with ChatGPT. So you can use it to learn, and you can use it for image generation. Try to in your free time try and use it's called Google AI Studio. I think it's free. So you Google AI Studio. The picture that I sent, that the e-poster, that was not what I was wearing. I just used AI to change what I was doing. In fact, the first one he showed me was with it, and I said make it a bit casual and change the suit to this color, and he did everything for me. So that was the clothes I was wearing was actually AI generated, and I used Google Studio. So Google Studio is free for everyone. So just go to Google Studio, open your account. As long as you have a Google account, you have access to Google Studio, and then you can use it to learn. You can use it to maybe you have a picture and want to send you want to be on your LinkedIn, and you need a picture to put on your LinkedIn to sound professional. And you have one picture, but maybe what you were wearing was not very formal. You can just tell it to change what you're wearing to formal wear, and to do that, and you can keep refining it until you get what you really want. So that's the beauty of it. Now I'll just briefly talk about something and then round up. One of the issues people have, especially with artificial intelligence, is the fact that AI is going to replace human beings. No, AI will not replace human beings. The truth is that right now we are at the bubble of the bubble is going to burst, and the companies will merge. Some companies will fizzle out. You understand, and the system will stabilize. You understand, but it has created new tools for learning. There's now workflow engineers, people that develop workflows in organizations. And there's the training part of it. There's the implementation part of it. There's also using it for yourself, and that's what I'm more of an advocate for. Using it for yourself to make yourself very, very efficient, and as long as you decide to, use it, very well, or you decide to key to it, it can make your work, very efficient. These are just tools. So you can use ChatGPT to write draft content. Gemini is for Google. Another one you can use for creative writing, you can use Claude. For research, you can use Perplexity. Perplexity is very good when you're doing research. For summarizing data, also ChatGPT for action points. You can use Firefly too for that. For creating graphics, you can use DALL-E, Midjourney, Canva AI. So Canva has AI embedded into it. You can also use, I think Google has that new one that Google launched. So Google has the new, it's scary, almost real what Google 2 is doing in creating images and graphics. So you can do like short ads, you can create short stories and use AI to do like images for it. For building templates and documents, draft SOPs, you can use ChatGPT, to do that. For training and onboarding, you can use AI chat. You can, this is a social media, for example, your social media policy. This is the policy for, you can use draft policies for your organizations and just fine tuning it and all that. Even for typing, you can use to help your grammar. You can use Grammarly or Quillbot. So Quillbot, you just can whatever you type, put it there, you arrange your grammar. You can change the grammar to fit the tone, different tone. You want to make the tone format, you want to make it casual. Quillbot can do that and use AI, under it. For those who are programmers, you can use Copilot. You can use Claude too. You can use GitHub Copilot, You can use Claude too. That presentation, you can use Canva Magic. If you have a paid account, you can use AI with Microsoft too. If you have a 365 Microsoft 365 account, they've embedded Copilot even into all their office suites like PowerPoint and all that. You can it's integrated into that, so you can also use AI into that. So look, AI is more or less like your. I know someone who is always arguing with me that it doesn't make you think. And I told the person that if you need to, write a letter, you have a important letter to write, and you have a company, you have a staff. The fact that you told your staff to write the letter, does that mean that you are stupid? They said, no, which will review the letter? Is that what AI does? It's your personal assistant. You understand? And then you tell the AI to, this is what I want you to do. And when you draft it, you summarize it, you work with it, you fine tune it. The more you fine tune it, the better it becomes. The more you use your AI, it comes. And the beauty of AI is that even ChatGPT, you can now create folders. So you can have different projects. This project I'm working on, that project I'm working on, and you can group your conversations into different projects. So the takeaway here is that generative AI is like a digital co-worker. It drafts any designs, summarize, and brainstorm. So people can focus on their area of expertise. So that's it. And I hope if you have any questions, I'm here to answer your questions. Thank you. Anyone with questions? I don't know what anybody has a question.
Good evening, Mr. Ayo. Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening. Yeah.
Okay, my name is Philip. Regarding the marketing and sales you talked about Jasper.
Yeah.
I don't know if you could throw more light on how best we can utilize that for marketing and sales. I'd just like to know how we can use it. Yes, thank you so much.
Okay. So one thing about marketing and sales is, first of all, when it comes to marketing and sales, the first thing you have to think is what channels are you using to market. So are you marketing? So there's the traditional way of marketing, and there's also the digital way. So which one are you referring to? Is it the traditional way or is it digital way?
I would say both, because we use both. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. So for example, marketing, you want to create ads, you want to create copies, So one of the beautiful things that, so let's say you want to create a script. You want to create a script now for somebody to do a voiceover for a particular product. Let's say you want to use radio, or you want to use TV, and all that, or you want to create a copy and give somebody that would design, do whatever the visuals of it, You can use ChatGPT and tell it, but anytime you use ChatGPT, just remember that when you want to prompt your AI, always give it context. Tell it, give it a background. So tell it that it is what to do. This is your audience. This is what you want to do. You want to create a script and use to do this and do this and do this and do this. ChatGPT can help you with that. You understand? You want to create ads. Now, ChatGPT is not very good with graphics, but I don't know. There's AI that can help you with graphics and all that, and all that can help you with that. Then maybe the things you want to write under. For example, you want to market, you want to sell a new phone, and you can tell your AI, say, please create a copy for my. I want to make sales on this phone. I want to create a marketing campaign on this. Create a copy for me. The copy should be engaging because the target audience are young people in the ages of this and this and this and this. It will help you. You understand? You want to promote something, but you want to promote it across different platforms. So you can say, that you have this ad, this thing that you've written, but you want to promote this. You can upload and say this image is what you want to sell, but you want to create a post, to promote it on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and what other place again. Please write a copy and WhatsApp. Please write a copy for the following. If you create the copy with all those hashtags for each of it, you will create everything. Most of the things you see on LinkedIn that you see very beautiful pictures, most of the things are AI. The people will sit down here, come to their AI that write this thing talking about this event I went for and all that. And then if you give them hashtags, you understand, and all that. So that's how you can use AI to do that. You can also, writing copy, you can use ChatGPT to write copy. You can use it for targeting customers too. So the thing is that you can feed your ChatGPT with data. You can say this is the marketing brief that they're giving to you. How are you going to approach it? I even use it to think through. I ask it for advice. For example, I'm developing an application for people. I would ask it to please give me an example of how I would create what kind of server would you advise me to use for 2 million users and blah 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 blah. It can give you advice on how you can do this and do this. Let me just give you a practical example of how. Let me show you my own and what I use this for. You understand? So let me share this tab. And I hope you can see this tab. Can you see this tab? Hello, can you see my screen? Okay, you can see my screen. Okay. So see what I said? I said, what's the recommendation WordPress setup that can handle 2 million registrations? He said, big scale version IO. He said, it even knows me. He said, handling whatever requires careful architecture, the first sort of blah, 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 hosting at that level. We are dealing with massive, this is technical stuff, user roles, high concurrency, login, and everything. So she's giving me hosting infrastructure and this and this and this and this. I said, give me a scenario for both any system community and just form registrations. He gave me different scenarios. He gave me recommended setup. You understand? I said, which hosting setup is meant for scenario 2? He gave me 2 scenarios. He gave me the hosting setup for scenario 2. You understand? Which setup do you recommend? He gave me the recommended setup for Cloudways and all that. I don't know if you understand. So it even goes further. You ask you that you want me to recommend a database schema for registrations so that this WP users will not choke on that 2 million registrations and keep it solid. I said yes. See what it does. It gives me generates the recommended schemas for registration and why it works and how I'm integrating with WordPress and blah 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 blah. You can see why it works. You understand? So I give me step-by-step guide. It's giving me a step-by-step guide on everything. So this is how you work with it. The beautiful thing about ChatGPT is that it's very, very chatty. So you can chat with it. You can converse. Do you understand? You can converse with it. So okay. So you can see I said digital tools for visibility for small scale businesses. I think I was in a meeting. I was in a small round table, and while we're talking, I did this one on my phone, and look at what was giving me: web traffic, social media, local engagement, data tools, what they can make. You see how it breaks everything down. I'm already learning while I'm there. So I just through it, I was able to talk and blah 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 blah. Like, this what this guy, is talking, what this guy is saying, it makes sense and all that. So this is how you can use it. You brainstorm it. This is your idea. Another thing you can do is that you can also use a different AI. So you can test both responses from both. You can use ChatGPT and then move to Gemini and see their reply. You understand? And able to balance both, both replies and all that. So that's how you use it for, marketing. Any other question? So over to the host or the MC.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ayodele, for the enlightening and practical section. I believe we've all gained a deeper understanding of how artificial intelligence at work can be more than just a hot topic. It can be a real tool for productivity, efficiency, and transformation in the workplace. So, to everyone who joined us today, thank you for your time, your focus, and engagement. We hope you're living with actionable insights that can help you integrate AI more confidently into your daily work. On behalf of the entire Fusto team, we truly appreciate you for being part of this section. Remember, our webinar holds every last Saturday of the month. So mark your calendars and don't miss the next one. Until next time, please do have a wonderful evening. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a lovely night.
Yeah, thank you.